Thursday, October the 8th. Gideon has died. While he lived, there was peace, but after he died, well, this is how Judges chapter 9 begins. One day, Gideon's son Abimelech went to Shechem to visit his uncles, his mother's brothers. He said to them and to the rest of his mother's family, "Ask the leading citizens of Shechem whether they want to be ruled by all 70 of Gideon's sons or by one man. And remember, I am your own flesh and blood." You might remember that Gideon had many wives, concubines, 70 sons, more than 70 sons. And so it is that just like in today's time, too often I have seen it happen, when someone dies, the legacy left behind can be painful, disruptive, vicious, even as family strives for power, money, recognition, estate, significance. What did Gideon expect with over 70 sons? Well, to understand the story, you have to read the whole of chapter 9. And so I guess I'm giving you some homework. Read it. Look at what happens as the children left behind, one child in particular, decides that he is going to seize power. In fact, all 70 of Gideon's sons are killed on one stone. And so it is, Abimelech achieves what he set out to achieve and he becomes king. But then in verse 7, we hear a parable beginning. "Listen to me, citizens of Shechem. Listen to me if you want God to listen to you. Once upon a time, the trees decided to choose a king. First, they said to the olive tree, 'Be our king.' But the olive tree refused, saying, 'Should I quit producing the olive oil that blesses both God and people just to wave back and forth over the trees?' Then they said to the fig tree, 'You be our king.' But the fig tree also refused, saying, 'Should I quit producing my sweet fruit just to wave back and forth over the trees?' Then they said to the grapevine, 'You be our king.' But the grapevine also refused, saying, 'Should I quit producing the wine that cheers both God and people just to wave back and forth over the trees?' Then all the trees finally turned to the thorn bush and said, 'Come, you be our king.' And the thorn bush replied to the trees, 'If you truly want to make me your king, come and shelter in my shade. If not, let fire come out from me and devour the cedars of Lebanon.'" In other words, the olive tree, the fig tree, the grapevine recognize that the greatest purpose is to serve God and people, to use your gifts to bring good, to bring joy, to provide spiritually and physically. Even the thorn bush, the prickly thorn bush, recognizes what is at stake. If you really want a king, come and sit under my shade, where you will be pricked and stabbed by the thorns, because you are seeking what is not right. As a minister, as I said, I've seen too many families torn apart no sooner as the funeral is finished, seeking what's in the will, seeking what's valuable, splitting the estate, trying to establish who's in control. So my thought for today is this. What legacy are you intentionally building before you die? What relationships do you have with your friends, your children, the people you work with? If you own a business, what relationship do you have with the people that work for you? Because it's the intentional building of relationship and legacy now that will establish what happens and what the relationships become after you've gone. Are there family relationships you need to rebuild? You need to restore? Bridges you need to mend? Forgiveness you need to seek? Or forgiveness you need to offer? Don't wait until a funeral for people to say good things about you. Don't wait for after a funeral and hope that the legacy you hope for is the legacy that will be left. Work at it now. Speak about it now. Sow the seeds of your legacy now, so that when the time comes, the fruit is already in preparation. I'm sure thinking about your demise isn't what you plan to do today, but your legacy is already being decided. Be intentional. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.